What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to Live More TV. I hope you all are safe during this quarantine time. I know it's a little scary, so we thank you for tuning in right now. And since you're here, go ahead and hit subscribe and the notification bell. We upload a new video every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so go ahead and subscribe right now so you don't miss out, because these are all super fun. So since we're all on lockdown right now, unfortunately we're not able to travel, so we figured we're going to do something a little different this time, and we're going to go ahead and tell like a crazy experience that happened to one of us while we're traveling somewhere in the world. So this is going to be my story about a trip that we recently took with Twins TV and all our Instagram buddies and stuff. We all went to Bali, Indonesia, and something crazy happened. So we were all in Bali, Indonesia, and in 2018 I stayed with this family in a little tiny village called Manduang. So we woke up one day and we're like, we're gonna go to this village, we're gonna meet these people, we're gonna hang out with some locals, it's gonna be a really cool experience. So we got on our scooters and we had about a 2-hour drive to get to this village. And a 2-hour drive on a scooter in Indonesian traffic is sketchy. I mean, every single one of us had a point where we almost died because there's so many close calls constantly. You have to be really focused on your driving game while you're in another country because it's completely different. So once we got there was this really cool like watering hole thing that I remembered I went to the first time I was there. So I wanted to show everybody. So we pulled over and we were gonna go down into it. And as soon as we got down in there, I slipped on some wet rocks and I fell down, smashed up my arm and my hands. I was just bloody all over the place. We came into the house, we met them, and it was really nice to see everybody again. And they patched me up because of blood and everything. And they gave me this big gift. They sell these big boxes in Bali and they're just really like handcrafted and like so detailed, and they're painted and they're really cool. And I've wanted one for a long time, so this family got me one as a gift and I absolutely love it. So we spent some time with them, we filmed some really cool like action shots and stuff like that. So we have like a 2-hour drive back and I've got my camera backpack on, I'm holding this huge box, I'm not even holding onto the scooter because I can't, and our back is just like hurting so bad because like I'm tensed up trying to stay on the scooter and I'm balancing the whole time, and it's just so sketchy and it was super hot. And we end up we're trying to stick in our group, which was really difficult because there's so much traffic and it's really easy for somebody to get lost and split up in the group. So we all end up at this traffic light and it's completely like pitch black out, it's nighttime, and I just happen to look over and there's a cop on the left side and he's just staring at us, and I was like, oh no. I knew something was up because the first time I was in Bali, I had something similar happen to me with the police there, and it was a lot worse the first time. But basically what had happened was they were looking for their tourists. I was like, I don't want to draw any more attention to me than I have right now, so I kind of turn my head and do one of these, and next thing I know, I get tapped on the shoulder, and this cop is standing there and he says, give me your international driver's license. And I knew that's what he was gonna ask, and neither one of us had one. And he told us to pull over, so we pulled over. Next thing I know, we're surrounded by cops, and these guys are like talking to us in Indonesian and we don't speak it, and we're like, I don't know what to do. And it's just stressful, and I'm trying to whisper to Jeremy, like, if they ask where our international driver's license is, just tell them that we left it back at the villa and we could bring it back later, and then that way we could just make something up, get out of here as far away from this situation as possible. And they take us and they're looking at our scooter and everything and then checking it out, and they look at me and I'm like still kind of bleeding a little bit, so they're like, this guy's covered in blood, he's American, he's holding this big box that's like a traditional Balinese thing, and it just looked super weird. And he asked where I was coming from and I said Manduang. He thought that was weird because it's like a place that tourists don't go to. They took us into this room with just one cop and he made us sit down, and Jeremy looks at me and he's like, film this. So I get my camera out and I'm holding it like this, it's just my phone, and I start like recording for a second. The cop looks right at me, knew what I was doing, and he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Put that thing down, no filming. And I was like, oh, I'm not. I just turned my phone around, I clicked the power button, I was like, it's off. So I turned it back on. So the guy starts talking to us in Indonesian, and we're like, we don't speak it. So then he starts speaking a little bit of English to us, and basically he's telling us that we have two options. Option number one is we can go to the court and we can pay the fine and deal with all the legal stuff. Option 2 is we pay him. And that's exactly what I thought was gonna happen. Turns out it's like I think it's like a scam where they look for tourists, because there was like 100 other people there and they found the tourists, and especially the Americans, because they know we have some money. Our money goes a little bit farther than theirs. So they looked right at us and picked us out. And he's like, okay, you can pay me right now and I'll make this all go away and you'll be fine. So we're like, obviously that's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna go to the court. Oh, it'll be 500,000 rupiah, which sounds like a stupid amount of money, right? And it actually equals out to about $30 American. So it wasn't that bad, and that was like for 2 of us. So $15 a person, not bad. Got out of a ticket, whatever, having to deal with court systems or not being able to fly home or whatever. So we paid the guy, and then as soon as we go to leave, I said "Sin Can Can," and that's like a thing that only local Balinese people know, and it's just like a term, and if you say it, everybody gets super pumped up about it. And the guy hears it, he's like, "Sin Can Can," and I'll roll the clip, you can hear him say it.
Sin Can Can.
Hoy, Sin Can Can.
Sin Can Can.
Huwag mo sa Bali, no? Huwag sa Bali.
No Indonesian.
He was all cool with us after that, and we're like, whatever, you just ripped us off, dude. Everybody that was with us in our group when we got pulled over, they just kept going, and most of them didn't even know that we got lost or separated at all. So they were back at the villa and they're stressed out, like, where are they? They haven't heard from us. They didn't know what was going on. And I'm sure everybody was stressed out, and then we came rolling up and we're just laughing. Everybody's sitting in the pool. I don't think they were too concerned. It was like a scary thing that happened to us, but it was like a good story that we're gonna be able to tell for the rest of our life, which is what Live More is all about, is being able to have an experience that you'll remember forever. So that's definitely one that'll stick with me. So I hope you guys like this video. If you want to do more like this, then leave us a like and we'll know that you guys are enjoying it. And if you have any suggestions, leave them down in the comments and we'll do that maybe next week. We're going to be stuck at home for a while, so we want to interact with everybody. So make sure you go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, and Live More. We'll see you next week.